Hey, what up everybody, this is Stevie Breach coming to you with a review of Night of Champions 2011. I watched this the other day on the WWE Network. Of course, I watched this in 2011, but for some reason back in the day, I never made a 2011 Night of Champions review. I think for back in the day, I didn't do a lot of post-pay-per-view reviews because most of the time I would work, I would come home, Skype would be hot, so I would come on, I would talk with my buddies late on Skype, and then most of the time I would watch the pay-per-view late Sunday, Monday morning, and then probably finish the show actually Monday night. Is how I used to actually watch the pay-per-views back in the day, but now with the WWE Network, you just boom, and it's up on your screen, done like that. It's my way of saving a buck. Back in the day, being a wrestling fan, of course, everybody knows now, WWE Network, $9.99, best there is in the business today. If you go back to the Summer of Punk, which was basically CM Punk at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, he packed his bags after winning the championship, and he went home for 2 weeks. And then he came back as champion. He did the whole deal at SummerSlam, which was Night of Champions was the month after SummerSlam. CM Punk wrestled John Cena in a big-time match with Triple H as the special guest referee. You can say there's some tomfoolery involved with the match. Of course, John Cena got pinned. CM Punk got the win, even though Cena's foot was on the rope for the 3 count. I think that they could have gone 1,000 different ways with that whole deal. Maybe John Cena versus Triple H or something like that. But it ends up that Kevin Nash came running in. He beat up CM Punk. Then Alberto Del Rio came running down out of the back, and he pinned. He cashed in on CM Punk to become the champion. And that, of course, set us off on the Triple H versus CM Punk battle. Basically, CM Punk saying that Triple H didn't want him to be champion, that the WWE was against CM Punk. Why they would pay to bring him back, why they would pay to give him theme music would, of course, be the basis of the feud. Triple H came off looking like a bad guy, trying to be a good guy, and this whole deal never made any sense. It was originally planned to be at Night of Champions, CM Punk against Kevin Nash, a match that I don't think many people really wanted to see. And then just at the end of Monday Night Raw, out of the middle of nowhere, basically, they had a match. They cut to the back for like 30 seconds, and in this 30 seconds, Triple H told CM Punk that he wasn't going to be facing Kevin Nash anymore. He was going to be facing me. And there we went from there. Was that, Kevin Nash was pissed that he got his match taken away from him. He was laying out Punk. He was laying out Triple H. Everybody was fighting with each other. This whole storyline never really made any sense. Normally I talk about the whole show and then we talk about, the main event, but this is being the main event, and that's the main rant of this video. The whole storyline, the whole summer of 2011, really never felt like they were piecing it together. I don't know if this was when Triple H was first taking over his role, where he was helping out with creative and things like that, and that's just how it got sort of fucked up, or if it just was creative, had no idea what the hell was going on. All they knew that you wanted to make CM Punk the most popular guy in the company at this time. They were really trying to build upon, push Punk. Of course, we would have to wait until Survivor Series of 2011 for him to start his big, long reign as champion. But, even with that reign of champion, he never really got pushed like he was the main guy in the company. Many matches of lower caliber status. John Cena going up against John Laurinaitis. John Cena going up against Big Show. With main event pay-per-views that also featured CM Punk matches. Never really, made sense. It was a lot like when, who was another champion that this sort of happened to? It happened to Punk the first time he was the World Heavyweight Champion. Monday Night Raw, I remember that. That's one guy that came to mind. It's just sort of like, you think you finally win the champion, you finally win the big one, you're going to be the main guy at the company. It's something that Bret Hart fought for, to, raise himself up the card. And, he talks about that a lot in his book and in a lot of interviews. That once you win the belt, then you're like the main guy. You're the person that everybody's counting on to have good matches and good feuds. That way, the whole company stays afloat. But I don't know. They were trying to make it look like Triple H was the bad guy in this whole feud. But during this match, we find out that basically, John Laurinaitis is the bad guy. This whole the thing involves the beginning I guess now we have to bring that up. They have a tag team of Austin Truth who paired each other up as two guys who felt like they deserved to be pushed further in the company. Of course, The Miz main evented WrestleMania 27. Of course, R-Truth main evented. What the fuck was the name of that show? Capital Punishment or something like that. It was a pay-per-view. I believe it was from Washington, D.C. And he felt like he really deserved another shot at John Cena in the championship. He felt like he was being held down. They have a match at the beginning of this pay-per-view against Air Boom. I don't know why it says this, because basically the page that I'm looking at that has the show, this is a dark match, but I saw it. I don't know if it's special that it's on the WWE Network, but it seemed like it was the beginning of the pay-per-view. It didn't seem like it was a bonus extra match. Maybe they're just wrong over here on it. It's Wikipedia. Who the fuck knows? But basically, they lose the match to Air Boom. They don't get the tag team championships. It was a pretty good match. I forgot how good Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston were as champions, but because of this, they feel like they're being held down. They have a promo where they say they're going to make sure they make a change. They come running down. They attack both CM Punk and Triple H in this match. Of course, it's a no DQ match. The stipulation was if CM Punk won the match, Triple H would have to resign as COO of the company. That's the one reason, I think. Well, I guess because it's the Triple H match. That's the one reason why it main evented the whole deal. But basically, they came running down. John Laurinaitis, who wasn't the general manager of Raw yet, he just was being announced as head of talent relations. He made sure that when Triple H was an advantage of the match, that the referee didn't go into the ring to make the count. But then, of course, once CM Punk was able to go in there, and he had the advantage of the match, that's when he was trying to do it. So it was actually John Laurinaitis was trying to help CM Punk, because if Triple H was no longer the COO of the company, that would make John Laurinaitis more important, and he would have a higher role throughout the whole deal. So that's sort of what it went from there. Of course, in this match, we have Triple H beating CM Punk. I guess you can't have Triple H lose his power, but at the same time, everybody knows that 2011 was going to be the year of CM Punk. He did win the championship at Survivor Series, but it's kind of stupid to beat somebody on the way up. You'd think that you'd want this guy beating as many people before he became the champion. That way the fans get behind this guy and know, this is really going to do it. The screw job finish that they did involving Truth, involving Laurinaitis, involving The Miz, didn't really do anybody any favors in this match to help anybody out. But it was a good match. It was supposed to be the big main event of the show. I think that most people, once they saw Miz and R-Truth come running down, really lost focus in this. I'm pretty sure that Ravi was at this show, Assault and Battery 777. Go back throughout his timeline of videos. I'm sure you'll find some sort of a live review, him talking about what his experience was like and everything that he felt along this match. Next time I talk to him, I'm really going to ask him, because I'm really interested in knowing. Cody Rhodes beat Ted DiBiase for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a hot match, mostly because you bring up them being a tag team, them being in Legacy, being behind Randy Orton. This is sort of one of Ted DiBiase's last big matches in the company. He would fall off the face of the earth. He got to a point where he snapped, and he got Cody Rhodes' mask, and he was going to hit Cody with it in order to knock him out and get the win. Cody was able to duck, hit the crossroads, 1, 2, 3. Ziggler had an awesome match with a fatal 4-way where he won the United States Championship. Basically, him and Ziggler and Swagger were a team at this point. They were both with Vicky Guerrero, where basically they were on the same team, but they both didn't like each other. Jack Swagger hit the gutbuster on John Morrison. Ziggler came and pushed Swagger out of the ring, got the 1, 2, 3 himself. Alex Riley did pretty good in this match. Of course, this would be one of his last featured matches before he fell off the face of the earth as well. From there, we went to Mark Henry beating Randy Orton. Honestly, I can tell you there's nothing really great about this match, but the moment that Randy Orton gets pinned by Mark Henry, this place comes unglued, because honestly, I think WWE in 2011 was honestly looking for something that they had never seen before. Mark Henry becoming the World Heavyweight Champion was honestly a big moment, because Mark had been a guy in WWE for, I think he said 16 years. He said a lot of fucking years. I think he debuted in 1996, however long that was after the Olympics, and basically worked so hard to get to where he was, and now he is opening up his Hall of Pain. Even though he's the heel of this match, he got the pop of the night by far. Pretty good match between Kelly and Beth Phoenix, surprisingly, with Eve Torres and Natalya getting involved in it. Kelly gets the surprise victory for the second pay-per-view in a row over Beth. Beth breaks down and she starts crying in the ring. Pretty something special from the heel that really was running through everybody in the company. Now she's not able to beat Kelly to the point where she's crying out there. John Cena defeated Alberto Del Rio by submission to win back the WWE Championship. Of course, this is where John Cena was saying that Del Rio wasn't a champion. Del Rio was just a guy that cashed in a briefcase. It was pretty surprising. I know Del Rio would beat John Cena to win this belt back, I think, at the next pay-per-view. No, that's Hell in a Cell. That was the three-way that Miz and they got involved in. The one after that, I think it's Vengeance, in the broken-up ring after the Big Show and Mark Henry match where the ring collapsed. They actually had Cena and Del Rio go out there, and I think that's where Del Rio beat Cena, and he got his championship back before he would lose it back to Punk at Survivor Series, I think is how that went. This was a pretty good show. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't great. I think I would put the other 2008 and 2009 Night of Champions before you guys would watch this one, but definitely put it in your queue to watch on the WWE Network. It's a great show. Peace out.